Welcome back. Just before the break, we were talking to our distinguished guest about the problems of displaced people from Myanmar, popularly known as Rohingyas. Bangladesh is not a very rich country. It's a small country with a lot of people. We have our own achievements, but we cannot provide everybody a shelter. That is what the understanding is I get from the politicians from Dhaka. And we cannot open the door for everybody. Right. Mrs. Ashequr Rahman, you are the director of something in Red Cross?
I'm a board member, governing board member, of the Bangladesh Red Cross Society.
Yes. Right. So, what is the role of Red Cross in trying to solve this niggling problem?
We have been coordinating from the headquarters, and there are a lot of volunteers at the site, and we have been visiting the sites also. And
the sites mean the camps?
The camps.
Along the border?
Along the border, yes. So 24 hours our people are working with them.
When you say our people, it means it includes volunteers?
It includes the employees of the Red Crescent Society and the volunteers. The volunteers
from different
joined from different colleges, universities, even high schools. They are coming. Yeah.
How did they manage to come out during term time?
Well, after the school.
After the school.
Yeah. So during breaks, after the school, after the when they don't have classes or colleges.
What do you provide apart from shelter? Education as well?
Shelter mostly shelter, food, food, utensils, things like daily utilities, daily needs.
Yep.
That we provide.
Well, I was talking to Honorable MP on this topic, that he said that yes, the talks are going on, and we will be inching towards a talk between the responsible parties, and inshallah some sort of agreement will be achieved. You see, obviously Bangladesh cannot accommodate all that is thrown on their borders. You see, back to your area, Mithapukur, Ranpur 5. See, that upazila, describe to us. I mean, I know it's a very, very big upazila, probably the biggest upazila in Bangladesh. See, it's 40 by 40, did you say?
It's about 500 square kilometers.
What is the population?
About 600,000 population. Then any direction is about 40 kilometers. It is, some of our districts are smaller than my upazila.
Of this is, did you say 60,000 persons live there?
No.
600,000.
600,000. Yes.
And how many out of them are voters?
About 300,000.
300,000.
More than 300,000.
No,
yeah.
50%. See,
about
see, and obviously half of them will be women.
Yes, 50%. Yes.
So it's a very dynamic upazila with 600,000 persons.
Yeah, it is. Interesting.
What sort of development work is going on there? I know the roads are very nice.
You see, the first thing when I started, it has no road work, nothing. Very big upazila, very difficult to go from one point to another. But today, any point to any point you can reach in 2 hours, 3 hours time.
And electricity?
Electricity also, and all
most
houses
places
will be electrified. I mean, electric connections will be given.
Yeah.
And we have said our national policy is to reach electricity to every home by 2018. But our target in our upazila is to reach electricity by December 2017, this year.
2017.
So, and we are out of 310 villages there, we have already reached 282 villages. So I've got about 18 and about 28 villages. Then we shall do this now.
There's no problem in getting the electricity. I mean, you are on the national grid.
We are national grid, but we are the part of Polli Vidyut. So that's a national program, of course. So that will, the things have changed. Every house has television, even most of the house has the fridge, electricity, and you're happy to learn the per capita income today is more than $1,500 in Bangladesh.
Yep.
So even though there is not really exact equitable distribution of resources, but there is no sort of food shortage.
Right.
Poor or rich, they are, sort of manage their things. Their children are going to the school. About 72, I think almost every children going to the school. And in my
And it's free, isn't it?
in Upazila, a small Upazila, 19 colleges are there, 120 high schools, 60 madrasas, and 270 primary schools, and all these schools, colleges are full,
Can't
So-
these madrasas, I mean, people always distinguish between madrasas and schools. I mean, the Arabic word madrasa is for a school, you see. So a school is madrasa, madrasa is school. Can't they be put
Now,
together? see?
madrasa has a
When we think of madrasa, we think of religious.
no, it is there, so you just cannot close it down in one day, but you can modernize the syllabus.
Merge it.
No, you cannot merge, because the mothers, it has also relationship with the employment. I mean, some people working there, you can merge, but there's a distance also. So what our government is doing is to uplift their, they change their syllabus to bring it nearer, so that
Near to them.
in a course of time you find there's no difference between the syllabus and all that. So that is the government policy. All the schools should be modern, and there may be bias for religion in some school, but those who are coming out, they should be modern in the outlook, and there will be religious tolerance, religious knowledge, but at the same time we will respect all the religion,
Right.
and we'll extol free expression of thought,
Right.
free adherence to your own faith,
Right.
At the same time, the economy is going on in a way that we have a society free from want, number one, and also free from fear, That's how. So everybody should have a good living. So that we are doing. But in my area, government is doing a lot of things. The schools are today, the Pakka buildings, roads, very good. But I feel myself that building of roads and buildings are easier than changing a life of somebody.
Right. Could I have a sentence or two from you on the last budget that was presented by our distinguished Honorable Finance Minister? I understand that a large number of MPs, they signed a letter that was, I think, probably the leader of that was MP Fazlul Karim Salim. And in that it asked the distinguished Finance Minister that you please don't decide it for us. We can do it. And stop your stubbornness and talk less. And a lot of MPs had signed that, see. But I take it as a joke rather than a serious issue.
So actually, when I look at it, I find for Prime Minister, for the Honorable Finance Minister, it was as I said, it was a tightrope walking.
Right.
Just see one thing, in the year 1972, our budget figure was 720 or 760 crores, something like this. Today our budget figure is about how much? 300.
Several thousand crores.
It's not 350,000 crore, So the huge expansion, So that by itself talks about the prosperity of Bangladesh, how far we have come.
Right.
But when you have big budget and when you have doubled the income of the people many times, and when you have increased the salary of all the officers, so there's a lot of demand for the commodities.
Right.
Unless the commodities are also in a sizable quantity available in Bangladesh, there would be inflation.
Are you going towards the VAT?
So there will be inflation. So there has to be some kind of what could I say? Some kind of balance between the two,
Right.
the commodity and the money. So what happens? On one side, he has to expand the economy of the country. On the other side, a lot of demand has been created.
Right.
So monetary and fiscal policy demands that you need more money to go for investment, go for this and that.
Right.
So
we
what happens?
are
So
running
he
out of
fix it.
time.
Yeah, but so he wanted to raise the taxes, VAT and etc. to match
Yep.
this, so that you can go for
15%.
more investment. But it is also oppressive, looks like that. So he has to find a way in between. So he has come down a little bit. So there was a little bit of opposition from the MPs,
Right.
but it was not very tough opposition. But they said that you should make so that it is within the tolerance limit of the people.
Right, thank you. Mrs. Ashequr Rahman, see, we have been trying to go towards your cultural activities. I know that you are head of a very well-known organization. Please tell us about that and your own input in that society of artists.
Well, as you know, from my childhood, I have been associated with cultural activities, and I'm a vocal artist of the Bangladesh radio and television.
How many
national
CDs you have produced?
About 8 CDs, audio albums.
And the special genre that you are good at or you like or favor?
Well, basically, I am a Nazrul Sangeet singer, but I have two modern song audio albums and even folk songs also.
Great.
So I perform folk songs, modern songs, and Nazrul songs on the national TV and radio.
Will it be too much if I would ask you to sing just a few lines? We are towards the end of this program, and we want to our viewers to remember this program. They should with a good taste in their mouth.
Okay.
Well, then I don't know
Any
how it will be, because I'm not in a very good shape.
Well,
my voice is...
You're always in good shape.
No, I'm not. I'm not. So...
we have now 30 seconds, something.
Just 2 lines of patriotic song. It's not Nazrul.
Okay.
It's D.L. Roy's song. It's a very famous song. So I'll rather try to sing 2 lines. ধনু ধান্য পুষ্প ভরা আমাদের বসুন্ধরা, তাহার মাঝে আছে দেশ এক সকল দেশের সেরা, ও সে স্বপ্ন দিয়ে তৈরি সেজে স্মৃতি দিয়ে ঘেরা। এমন দেশটি কোথাও খুঁজে পাবে না কো তুমি, সকল দেশের রানী সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি, সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি, সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি।
Great, thank you very much. You made our day, particularly mine. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Great
you
pleasure
also,
having you.
and thanks to NTV to invite us to this program.
Thank you, viewers, for being with us, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's show as much as we have. Same time, same channel, next week. In the meantime, take care.